Golden Day in Reykjavik.
Good afternoon, everybody.
How are you doing? So my name is Jessica.
And my name is Eva, and we are from Helsinki, from Slush. What a wonderful time we've had here in Reykjavik for the last couple of days.
Such a beautiful country you have.
Oh yeah, and the Northern Lights last night. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
So before we go ahead, let's just give a big hand to the Icelandic startups who have put up this spectacular event. Doesn't the venue look amazing?
Woo! Yeah, it sure does. It really sure does. So the amazing team from Slush Play has asked us to host the pitching competition at Slush Play for the next 2 days. So, Jessica, what do we have planned here?
So we have 6 selected Nordic VR and gaming startups who are going to be pitching on this very stage today and tomorrow.
Yeah, and the lineup for today is Drexler, Emberlight VR, and Mussila. Yeah. The winner will be announced tomorrow evening at this venue.
Could you tell me about the prizes?
Oh yeah, of course. We have amazing prizes for the winning team. Latest technology in VR and gaming that we are sure that the winning team is going to love. And of course, tickets to Slush in November held in Helsinki. So, who are the judges today, Jessica?
So, in our amazing judging panel sitting here in the front, we have Jana Palmer, indie gamer, and managing director at Stugan. Tommy Lee, advisor and investor. Iris Andresdotter, senior producer at King. And technical visionary at Nomadic Lottery Solutions and chairman of the board of Raw Furry Games, Oliver Ander Ragnarsson.
Okay, we don't want to stand in between you guys and the awesome companies that are pitching today, so let's give it up from Iceland, Drexler.
One, we are making a music-driven MMO RPG, and 2, we are making the game's main character a superstar, which will release music videos and perform live in front of a real audience in hologram. This is Drexler, and this is the future of entertainment. Did I get your attention? Geðveikt. The problem with MMOs is that they're slow, complex, and time-consuming. The awesome thing about them is that they are extremely engaging. But what teenage girl is going to grind herself through a dungeon in World of Warcraft? Really few. So we got a straightforward business case here, right? What if someone could make an MMO that could appeal to the masses, the mainstream casual gamers? I believe we are doing so with Drexler. We're developing our own game character, but rather than building it up in the field of war or magic, just like another fantasy-based role-playing game, you build it up musically and develop musical skills by completing musical tasks. You can, for example, release your own music and try to get it on the air in the game. That is radio stations and playlists inside the game. You'd compete in dance-offs, DJ battles, competitive concerts, and even execute in-game marketing strategies to build up a fan base. And yes, we got a hologram. You see, I could be pitching the greatest idea ever, which I probably am doing, but nobody would buy it. Why? Distribution. How am I going to market this thing? Well, through the music industry. Drexler will release music videos to update users on the development of the Drexler universe and perform live on music festivals. And later, Drexler players will get a chance to do exactly the same. We are going to succeed because we offer the player the opportunity to become a pop star without any formal requirement of musical background at all. And I believe we can democratize music and make it accessible to everyone.
Over to judges.
So this is very ambitious, but what's your PR strategy? How are you gonna, get traction? How are you gonna get this out to people? Building MMOs is not very easy.
First, we will release a mobile version of the game, which will cover on the one hand the music making process, and on the other hand parts of the communication. And this music making app basically allows the players to customize sound bits together, which we are color coding by scales and beat. So basically, later you customize them by music genres found in the game, which are rock, pop, jazz, classic, and hip hop. So the only thing the user has to do on those early stages is to mix color with genre.
Okay, have you done any user tests?
A lot of them.
Can you tell me a little bit about your team?
Yeah, we are a 10-man team consisting of animators, graphic designers, programmers, game designers, and musicians.
What is your business model?
Sorry.
What is your business model?
Basically, we are going to stick to microtransactions, where you can buy in-game outfit items, sound bits, and also in-game marketing.
Okay, I have just a few questions about the product exactly. So I have a few questions about the product and how the product works.
Okay.
So just from what I could tell in the screenshot, so it's a music app that kind of mainstream consumers can use to create music. Is that correct, or did I miss it?
Absolutely.
Okay, and then how do you make music in the app? It looked like you like use some of the tools to create beats. Do you create melodies? Kind of what? I had a hard time figuring out what is the level of complexity there.
Basically, we are trying to target someone who has no musical background. So this is the most simple interface ever. You basically just take a sound bit from point A, drag it, and drop it to point B.
Okay.
And we are actually customizing it by beat, that's 1, loop, that's 2, and scale, that's 3.
Okay, and is your expectation that people will download this to create music, and what are they creating it for? Are they making it just to share with their friends? Are they going to put it kind of on some website? Are they doing it from contests? Or like, what is driving behavior behind why someone would get this application?
Have you ever released a song that has become popular on the radio station?
I have not.
That's quite a kick, actually. So if you can have this platform to basically democratize music and make it your own, and basically publish it to other social medias, I mean, that can be really powerful.
So are you, okay, so where will things go? Will it go to the radio station, or will you just put it on Twitter, or kind of like what's the path for the content getting distributed out?
Yeah, Twitter, Facebook, and basically this app is social medium in itself. So player can actually comment on other people's songs inside the app. So, yeah. Okay.
And where are people making this kind of stuff today? Is it people who are creating music and posting it to SoundCloud or YouTube, or are you even looking for more mainstream than that? Like people who are not even doing that level of kind of music creation?
Obviously, the early adopter group is people who are using GarageBand and other music softwares. So, yeah.
What's your time to market?
Really long.
Thank you.
No problem.
Do we have any more questions? No? Thank you, Drexler. Next from Norway, we have Emberlight VR.
Eye of Odin. It is Ragnarok. You are Odin. You have to use all the magic of the gods to defeat the hordes of oncoming creatures or die. Hi, I'm Bjarne. I'm the CEO of Emberlight. I managed to put together a really experienced team of guys to focus entirely on VR. We started out in Norway earlier this year, with the plans to make an 18-month big VR project with a live phase afterwards, as indicated by the green here on the slide. We've realized since then that's way too slow. We need to learn faster. So just over 3 weeks ago, we had a big pivot. We threw that out. We decided to make smaller, more focused experiences to get answers to key questions. So each of these games will explore different game mechanics, different demographics, different monetization models. The first of these is Eye of Odin, and we'll release that before Christmas this year and support it into next year. And then we'll release 2 games during 2017, and we'll keep making at least 2 games every year following that. And that plays really well to our core values, to experiment, to listen, to learn, to create value for players, and to do good. We believe so much in these values. We've moved office down to the center of town. We have an open office policy. In the 3 weeks since our pivot, we've had 30 people come in to play our games, some hardcore gamers, some not. Only 3 of them have voluntarily returned the headset so far. So we're on a pretty good track. You all know about the market. We'll have some lean years ahead of us until 2018 roughly, and then it'll really pick up from 2019 onwards. Right now, our market research shows that the top 3 motivation for playing VR games are excitement, story, and fantasy. Eye of Odin are all of those things. So here are our projections. Next year, we will lose money. In 2018, we'll break even towards the end of the year, and in 2019, we're set up to be profitable. These are in thousands of euros, by the way. So we are here today looking for 700,000 euro, and we will use that money to help us make key hires and to release 3 games by the end of 2017. Most of these key hires we know, and some of these key hires already work with us on a freelance basis on Eye of Odin. We will learn what works in VR, what makes VR players tick, so we're set up to make profitable games from 2018 onwards. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Emberlight VR. So to the judges, any questions?
Yes. What is the game? The first game, for example, what's your...
The game is, it's based on it's a wave-based survival game, to categorize it. You use motion controllers, so it relies on the controllers for the Vive or Oculus Touch or PlayStation VR, and you cast spells. Sorry. You cast spells. And you have many different spells, and it's a good opportunity for us to learn quite wildly different things. We have some spells that are very similar to shooting. We have some that are more incantations and things.
This is not multiplayer, it's
just a single-player experience.
Okay, I like the strategy, especially since we're sort of entering the desert of VR and don't know what will work and what will work. I like the strategy of having smaller games, test them out. But have you thought about how are you going to take the data and how are you going to analyze the data and how are you going to get some intelligence from the data based on the test?
We actually have a research project set up on the side. So we've applied for a research grant from the Research Council in Norway to answer a few key questions. I don't know if I still have slides. Do I have slides? Anyone? Okay. Anyway, we're looking at whether player identity is important or not. So we're doing different games where, well, in this case, we're telling you, you are Odin. This is what you're supposed to be. In one of the other games, we don't tell you anything. You get to work it out for yourself. In the third game, we do somewhere in between. The world kind of tells you through what you experience. So I've got the key question here. How does intensity affect the immersion? So Eye of Odin is a very high intensity, you actually get tired playing it. We're planning a few low intensity games as well to get a different perspective. And how we'll actually learn is literally listen to feedback, having people in the office that we're already doing. And we are asking them and we are watching them, right? What works, what doesn't. So we'll keep doing that. But we need to be out in the market as well to get feedback that way.
I have a question. How many people are you now, and how many people are you aspiring to be?
Right now we are four. Yeah, that's a very dense slide there. There's 4 of us right now, but we already have 5 freelancers who are working with us. So it's not just the 4 of us making Eye of Odin. We are aspiring to be getting on for 15 towards the end of next year, including those freelancers who are more or less continually committed.
What are the questions that you're looking to answer with your various experiments of games?
So player identity, I was talking about, intensity. Also, we believe that VR in itself leads to stronger social bonds. We have an experience planned even to do that with NPCs, sort of Tamagotchi style. Do people actually care? We believe they do, but we need to build it and find out. We also, of course, monetization models. Eye of Odin will be a $10 purchase. There you go, knock yourself out. But even with that game post-launch, we have some monetization questions that we want answered, and it lends itself quite well to experimenting with that.
Yes, thank you. A big round of applause.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so for this round, last but not least, from Iceland, Mussila.
Hello. I am Margrét Júlíana Sigurðardóttir, and I am presenting Mussila, a line of music apps for kids. I am a musician myself, and here's the story. Whenever I'm in a company of 3 or 4 people, there's always at least one person, if not 2, who tells me that they went to music school as kids, and they loved playing their instrument, and they loved learning new songs. But as soon as they were introduced to the written language of music and the music theory, they lost their interest. 1 in every 3 or 4 people. When, for some reasons, the music industry has not solved this problem successfully yet. However, in 2010, when the tablet entered the market, I thought that this is something that could change things dramatically. With a one touch, you get immediate musical answer. And by adding the gaming method and using all the possibilities of these devices, which are instruments in themselves, we can change things dramatically. And we're going to see something different than the $500 courses in music theory, which you have to take in the other part of the town, go on 3 buses with your mom. So a few years down the line, my company Rosamossi, which I founded with Hilmar Þór Birgisson, computer engineer, and with our fabulous team of 5, we have launched 2 apps in App Store only recently. There is the musical Monster Adventure, a 64-level game of musical challenges and playtime and awards with instruments that are instruments and costumes, of course, because you are going on jam sessions with the Mussila band. And then we have the Mussila DJ, a musical play tool, where you mix music that is of preset songs, or make entirely your own, where you can record your own music, you can mix them and layer them, and of course you can scratch like a real DJ. What we are offering with Mussila is a solution that gives you an easy entry into the world of music. It's accessible, it's fun, and it meets the needs of the modern child. Thank you very much.
Over to judges one more time.
Okay, thank you. Music apps and, kids apps are not the easiest genre to have in the App Store. to monetize. So what is the business model, and how do you plan to go to the market? What's your strategy? Just use the App Store? How are you going to get traction to the games?
Well, this has to be marketed to the general public, so we have a PR office that is working with us from UK, and it basically, we see this as being marketed as like any other toy. So this needs to get, or not a toy, like educational tool. So we're trying to get into the big media in UK, which is our primary market, and then there's the franchising of products of Mussila, which can be of all sorts music related. But then we have also direct marketing to schools and to choirs, to brass bands, to music schools, to music teachers. And this is a big catalog of people that we are going to start our campaign with next week.
Yeah, I would recommend going through sort of B2B way, go into the schools,
Yes.
because there's a lot of, I've seen some of your products and there's a lot of potential there. These are great products, but you need to get them to the hands of the kids learning instruments, and
Yes.
I would advise to go through the music schools.
We are going to go through music schools and music teachers, but what we want to do is we want to gain our foot in the market with the general parents first, rather than identify ourselves immediately as educational, any other educational tool. We want this to be bigger because we think that music education is really something that is, every parent wants the child to enjoy music and learn music, and I think this has, it could be limiting to starters, so we want to start in the other end, and I think we already have great interest from toy makers and from people in the media, and we would like to try to get connected rather with the TV and making go that way. But the schools are definitely are where we're going to go as well.
Yeah, you should connect with Drexler.
Yeah.
Is the app live in the App Store?
It's we just sort of soft launched the first app in June, which of course is not the primary time for educational apps, but we did that in order to get good reviews, which we did get, and we have now more than 20 top ratings and reviews in blogs and medias that are covering new apps. So we are just starting our official marketing campaign next week.
And what are you finding for those people or kids, I imagine, who are using the app? How much time are they spending in it when they launch it? And then are they going back during the week?
Yes, we have had a good what's the word, a user time in the apps. The kids they are enjoying it and they are spending time in it, yes.
Do you know, do you have the metrics? Have you dialed in the metrics of what is the average user session? Kind of what are the various pieces of time? How many levels? How many times are going back into the app in the week?
The thing is, since we don't have enough downloads yet to really cover that, but there's a research starting next week where the app will be used in schools, the schools in a whole town in Iceland, and in a few schools in Tallinn and Estonia as well. So this will all be researched through that period. And also, because you mentioned schools, that is also one of our entry points to have some measurements of the educational value of the apps, actually. So we can actually tell people with numbers that it's actually working.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Someone else? Okay.
I think we still have time for one question. Jana, Iris?
Yes. I'm actually quite happy with the answers that you've already given. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, founders and startups. That was amazing. We're a little bit ahead of time, but that doesn't matter.
I think not.
We've been really much enjoying this. Tomorrow we're going to continue with 3 other startups. It was around 12 tomorrow? Yeah. Yes, so we're going to be back here. We want to thank the judges and the startups, and we hope to see you here tomorrow again.
Thank you.